Okay, this is now the 5-minute tarot for the 19th of April 2017. And it's another combination video in that I pick a couple of cards and I'm going to look at what they mean in combination. And I have to stop myself thinking one is the present and one is the future. So I'm not looking to have one followed by the other, because I'm trying to put the two together and see what the combination of cards would mean, rather than give you, or rather than look at one as being what's going on right now and the second card is what it's going to turn into. I think it's more useful to be able to see a combination of the two at the same time. So I shuffled for a bit and picked a card and got the 8 of Swords reversed. Okay, then I picked another card and got the 10 of Swords reversed. And my first instinct was to put the cards away and pick again. But then I thought, I can't do that. I've got to deal with what's there, because you may come up with a situation like that where you've got two obviously bad cards that show difficulty and problems and a sense of confinement and restriction and failure, things like that happening. And what happens if you get two of them in the same reading? What do you do with the two together? It sort of makes it worse, or makes it a longer lasting problem, or a problem that's more difficult to solve if you've got a kind of repetition or a duplication of the restriction of the 8 of Swords reversed and the defeat of the 10 of Swords reversed. So if we look for, I was trying to think of one word that would be a combination of the two cards, and I think that one word is no. So whatever your question is, the answer is no. It's not going to work. It isn't working. It didn't work in the past. You're stuck, and it's not going to get any better. Something like that. So it occurred to me that sometimes with cards and the pictures on the cards and not the message, but the analysis of the picture and connecting it with the question, you can't always say something good. We may be tempted to look at the 10 of Swords reversed and think, okay, well, the 10 of Swords, the dark clouds are lifting, so it's all going to get better. And we can have a natural desire to make things easier for the questioner. But sometimes you can't always look on the bright side. And you can't always... sometimes you're not doing a service for the questioner if you look at the 8 of Swords reversed and start talking about what, how it's a good card and what you can do that's good. So I think the point of these two cards is you can't always look on the bright side. Again, this idea that we're not looking at one card as the present, and like the 8 of Swords reversed is not the present, and the 10 of Swords is the future. But it's more like, let's say we've got the 8 of Swords reversed and the 10 of Swords has been upright. So 10 is 1 plus nothing. It's the beginning of a new cycle. So it can be the 8 of Swords, you feel stuck. But with the 10 upright, you can also see, not you will see, but you can also right now see and understand that change is possible with a 10 upright, or that a fresh start is worthwhile, or is going to be worthwhile, even though you feel stuck. So we're not talking about one card as being the present and one card as the future, and that 10 of Swords is the future change. But looking at the cards this way is more about how the person sees the world. So you're stuck, the 8 of Swords reverse, but it's not forever, the 10 of Swords upright. Even though things are dark at the moment, that it was can't remember, it was a line in a George Harrison song. If I remember it later, or maybe I'll find it and put it on screen. Anyway. So we know that, or the questioner knows that 10 is a chance for a new start. But because at this point we've got the 10 of Swords reversed, So we can say, okay, you feel stuck, the Eight of Swords reversed, and the Ten of Swords is reversed. So you're not going to see that a new start is possible, or you won't believe it if it happens and you get an opportunity to do something different or to do something else, or a new person comes into your life that would be a new beginning, but you're not going to you're not going to see it that way, or you won't believe it. So the reader might then say to the questioner, don't let the new cycle, Ten of Swords reversed, duplicate the old one that's represented by the reversed 8. Or maybe we're going to say that with the 10 of Swords reversed and the 8 of Swords reversed, you're likely to find yourself still stuck and unable to move or influence matters if you keep doing the same thing. So we might recommend you're in a situation right now. Don't go into the future with the same old habits that got you into a dead end, like this one that you're in at the moment. So the 8 of Swords and 10 of Swords, they're both difficult, I would think. We can probably all agree that they're awkward cards or they're difficult, and maybe the fact that they're reversed is going to make them worse. So at the same time, even though they're both reversed, it doesn't mean that you cannot ever or in any way make an improvement. And you know that because I'm trying to remember that George Harrison line again. Sorry. I don't remember the song, but there's a bit where it begins, everyone has choice when to and not to raise their voices. It's you that decides. But anyway, that it's an interesting thought. But anyway, so these two reverse cards, and we all know that even though it's dark, there's going to be a possibility for change coming up in the future. So, but the indication is with the 8 of Swords reversed and the 10 of Swords reversed that your current habits and ideas and your current understanding and experience, they're not going to lead you to a free, liberated situation or condition in the future. So if you want to get out of feeling stuck or out of feeling trapped, you need to, or if you want to improve your situation, you need to look at your habits and your thinking and make some changes there. Because with the 10 of Swords reversed as well as the 8 of Swords reversed, the indication is that you're not going to do much. And so you're going to be faced with a duplication or a repetition of the difficulty that you find yourself in at the moment. So it's up to you. I mean, it's up to the questioner to improve their own situation. Okay, I might have got a bit mixed up at the end there. I hope not. But anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.